Just how it was before the Aldershot game here. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you can use that. Really good voice. Just give me a minute.
Mel, just making sure you can hear us.
Actually, it's Mark, you're right. Yeah, not too bad. I seem to have got him now.
What was that?
All the mascots of chaos. That football is white. Football is white, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Mel?
PT was asked for escort.
Sorry?
PT was asked for escort from League 2 London local clubs.
Perfect.
I think a lot of people are struggling with that. Actually, I think the same money will probably take pictures for BT and whatever that website.
Big team news, Connor. As you mentioned, 4 changes for Darren Sarll after the win at Solihull on Saturday, confirmed them to finish in 4th place. No Reece Brown in the squad tonight, so Marcus Dackers continues up top for Woking. In comes Scott Cuthbert and Joe McNerney to the Woking defence. Also places for Padraig Amond and James Daly, who are both rested in the West Midlands. So the team in full: Will Yaskalainen in goal, the regular fullbacks of Josh Casey and Dan Moss, with Cuthbert McNerney between them. The 3 across the midfield: Solomon Wabuke, Rowan Ince and Jim Kellerman. Padraig Amond, Marcus Dackers and James Daly are the front 3. 3 of the 4 that do drop out from Saturday are amongst the substitutes. Kyron Lofthouse, Luke Wilkinson and Casper Wopata sit alongside Charlie Wakefield and Craig Ross. 7 changes in all for Bromley. Their team: Reece Charles Cook in goal, a back 3 of Callum Reynolds, Omar Sawanmi and also Deji Elorawe. Across the midfield: Kellen Fisher at right back, at left back Bethsart, Topolodge, and in midfield Ryan Sturck and Jude Arthurs. The 3 leading the line for the visitors: Michael Cheek through the middle, to the left Louis Dennis and to the right Corey Whiteley. The atmosphere is electric prior to kick-off. The players' arrival is imminent and this is really going to be a classic. We saw a 4-3 win for Bromley not too long ago. Woking, who have done the double over Bromley this term, will be hoping for more of the same. Kick-off is next, Connor. Cheers. Welcome everybody once again to the Laithwaite Community Stadium for the second of 2 Vanarama National League playoff eliminators. Tonight it is 4th against 7th. It is Woking against Bromley. 4 teams from the London neighbourhood qualified for the playoffs. Last night we saw Boreham Wood progress in North London with a 2-1 victory at local rivals Barnet, whose campaign came to a close, whilst tonight 2 sides south of the river look to book their place in the next stage, with the 2 northern powerhouses awaiting them. Boreham Wood will face the harrowing task at Notts County Sunday lunchtime, whilst tonight's winners have a date 3 hours later in Derbyshire with Chesterfield, who are eagerly awaiting for them. Despite the Cards spending most of 2023 in 3rd place, it was the Spireites who edged them in the last week of the regular season, leaving Darren Sarll's side 4th with a tougher route to Wembley and beyond. That said, Woking's win at Solihull on Saturday confirmed their best season for points in the National League for 27 years and their best league position for 25 years. Their post is not over, and with tables and records aside, tonight for the first time ever they will contest the playoffs at this level, with their hopes and ambitions of reaching the Football League firmly alive. Their opponents, Bromley, confirmed their place too with a 1-1 draw up at Oldham, matching their finish for the 2020-21 season. where they were beaten by subsequent winners Hartlepool at this stage. Hartlepool, who will rejoin the National League roster next season. However, there is a strong belief in both camps tonight that either of these sides can make the climb up and switch to League Two, but there is only room for one club to progress. It is the playoffs, it is knockout football in May, anything can happen. The stage is set, let the show commence. Darren Sarll with 4 changes from Saturday's win up at Solihull. In comes Scott Cuthbert, Joe McNerney, James Daly and Padraig Hammond. 3 of the 4 missing today are amongst the substitutes. That's Karen Lofthouse, Luke Wilkinson and Casper Wopata. No Reece Brown in the 16. So the Woking team in full. Will Yaskalainen is in goal. A back 4 of Dan Moss, Scott Cuthbert, Joe McNerney and captain Josh Casey. Solomon Wabuke, Jim Kellerman and Rowan into the 3 across the midfield. Padraig Hammond leads to the right, James Daly to the left and Marcus Dackers through the centre. For Bromley, well, 7 changes from the 1-1 draw at Oldham on Saturday. In come Callum Reynolds, Omar Sawami to the back line, also places for Ryan Stirk and Jude Arthurs in the midfield, and a new front line as well. Bromley's team in full. Reece Charles Cook is in goal. A back 3 of Reynolds, Sawami and also Ella Rawe. Across the midfield to the right wing back position, Kellen Fisher, and over to the left, Bessart Topolodge. In midfield, Jude Arthurs alongside Ryan Stirk. Michael Cheek through the centre for Bromley. To the right, Corey Whiteley, and to the left, Louis Dennis. 4 of the 7 who played on Saturday dropped to the bench. Billy Bingham, Adam Marriott, Byron Webster and Harry Forster stood alongside Mitchell Bergkamp, who was a scorer here the last time the teams faced. No place in the 16 for James Vennings, Charlie Kendall and Ben Craw-House. So the stage is set, as we mentioned. Woking in their traditional red and white and gold shirts, their black and gold shorts and their white and gold socks. Bromley in all green of shirts, shorts and socks. The referee tonight is Mr. Lewis Smith. His 4th official is Lloyd Woods, and his 2 assistants, Hugh Gilroy and Ashley Clark. It will be Bromley that get the game underway here. It's playoff football for Woking and Bromley in the National League. Woking playing from left to right as we look, shooting towards the Leslie Gosling stand away to our right, and Bromley right to left, shooting towards a packed out Kingfield Road End. Once again, double summarises here on BBC Radio Surrey, the first of which Ian Nicholson. Ian, what a game this is set to be.
Yeah, it's a great occasion, isn't it? The roar that went up when the kick-off happened, and a long throw coming in there for Dennis, easily handled by Ince. But yeah, great occasion. KRE, the Kingfield Road End packed, the stand packed, the away end packed. It's just a great occasion.
Topolodge, left-footed clearance, searching ball, looking for Dennis, onside, forced to Michael Cheek on the edge of the area, but Joe McNerney, who did a terrific job as coming on as a substitute on Saturday, back in the team today, will clean up. Amond loses it out on the halfway line. Nice turn though from Stirk, and here's Topolodge on the left side for Bromley, clipping it forward, looking for Dennis beyond everybody, and a goal kick. It has that real sense of occasion, doesn't it, John?
Absolutely. It's a cup final, no 2 ways about it. Both teams have got to go for it. There's only going to be one winner. Let's hope it's Woking.
Let's hope it's Woking. For the BBC Radio Surrey listeners, of course, listeners from BBC Radio Kent will be hoping for a Bromley success and indeed a trip to Chesterfield on Sunday. Of course, Boreham Wood progressing already. Barnet out. Boreham Wood heading to Meadow Lane Sunday lunchtime to face Notts County. But the atmosphere really is buzzing here. It's a nervy one, but there's really good noise from all 4 corners of the ground. Reece Charles Cook all in yellow. Siblings to Reece and Anthony. Both Woking players in their time. Clearance down the centre of the pitch. Backpedaling is Cuthbert. Does get ahead there, but Cuthbert intervenes. Collected by Whiteley, but Wabuke tidies up and smashed away by Casey. Wabuke had such a terrific game at Solihull on Saturday. Is rewarded with another start. Flicked on by Cheek, looking for Whiteley, who's already looking rather sharp. High boot from McNerney gives Bromley a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. And a good chance from a dead ball as well, Ian.
Yeah, good position for a free kick there. I think making a lot there. It was clumsy more than anything. The ball had gone and McNerney caught him, but down. I don't think any physio is going to come on. But yeah, this is a dangerous position. Just right of the D. Probably 25 yards?
Yep, give or take. Whiteley and Dennis. Five-man Woking wall. Could be the right foot of Louis Dennis here. Casey marshalling out instructions. Straight at the wall and cleared away by Ammond. Has to go straight down the side of the pitch and straight back to Charles Cook, and it's the visitors who have started better, Ian.
Yeah, they've had more of the ball. Woking haven't really settled yet. Most of their clearances have just come straight back at them. But that was a clever, clearance there. Ammon just playing into no man's land, really, just to relieve the pressure.
Early throw to Bromley. Andy Woodman in charge of the visitors. Topolodge with the throw. Ince wins the header. Of course, the big team news before the game, Ian, was the absence of Reece Brown. Do you think that Woking really should have rested him on Saturday?
I don't know about that. I mean, we don't know whether what he was carrying. I mean, players, it's not really Darren Starr's style to rest players or take the foot off the gas. He just keeps going. And a terrific tackle there by Joe McNerney.
What do you make of the team news, John?
Well, very disappointed that Brown isn't out there. He's a match winner for Woking, and it's a big blow.
Certainly is. The Dackers in front, leading the Woking cavalry. Cleared away by Callum Reynolds, the former Aldershot Town defender, of course. Header from Stirk, on loan from Birmingham, and Kellerman holding his head. Will need to receive some treatment here.
Yeah, that was, he did get caught there, I think. I don't think there was anything malicious in it. I think it was just, both players going for the ball and a clash of heads.
Case of the walking wounded, really, with Kellerman. He's been nursing one or two injuries for the last few weeks, but good to see him out there, because he really is key to Woking's success, particularly in midfield, which Bromley pack out with Jude Arthurs and Ryan Stirk.
Yeah, he does drag his body through it, Jim Kellerman, and takes a lot of punishment, but keeps going. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but he is a warrior.
Topolodge winning the header. Cheek. Topolodge again on the edge of the Woking penalty area. It's Bromley in the ascendancy at the minute. Woking doubling up on Topolodge. Dan Moss's touch gives Bromley another throw.
That could have gone the other way, but we're going to have a long throw here. I think we've had a couple of long throws already.
It's a 3-4-3 for Bromley, which we saw here a couple of months ago. Woking winning that one. Sawunmi, 6'6" central defender in his second season in a Bromley shirt. In charge of the long throw. It's right under the neck of Jääskeläinen, and Cheek enforces the Woking goalkeeper to an early save and a Bromley corner.
Yeah, it wasn't going in, but Jääskeläinen had to be safe to be, and made the save, but it would have gone wide.
It's been a really good fast start from Bromley. They've come out of the blocks, taking the game to Woking.
Ryan Stirk in charge of the corner, the Welshman. Dennis offers a short pass towards the back post. It goes up, goes Sawunmi, wins the header, and it's straight at Jääskeläinen from Ella. Early chance for Bromley.
Yeah. Well worked, training ground move there. Long corner, back post, headed back across the goal, and Woking lucky there that it really went straight at Jääskeläinen.
KC flicked on from Wabuke. Ammond offside. I was just waiting for the flag to come up. It did eventually. Woking just need to maybe wake up a little bit. It's Bromley who've enjoyed a strong end to the season, finished with a real flourish, beaten in their last 9 games in fact, and confirmed that playoff place with that 1-1 draw up at Oldham. They beat Chesterfield, of course, in their final home game. And the last defeat was at home, or away rather, to Wrexham. Home or away? Who knows? The last, it must have been away. It must have been at home rather, because the last away defeat was here back in February. The 2-1 win for Woking. Moss rebounding off Topolodge and straight to Whiteley. Low cross dealt with by Moss again. It's this left side that Bromley are attacking over and over again.
Yeah. Of course, the 2 times Woking played Bromley, they beat them, and actually I would say beat them pretty comfortably, certainly at Bromley.
Yeah.
But that was a lot earlier in the season. Long time ago.
Of course, the win here, Reece Brown was sent off The challenge on Reece Charles Cook, but they saw it out in style. It's Bromley attacking once again. Yaskalainen's come out and punched it away. Chasing is Fisher, and will sweep up around Amond. Gets to the loose ball as well with Bouquet there for company. It's a third Bromley corner already, and look at the noise from the travelling supporters over on that far side.
And if you're an away side, this is particularly what you want to do. You want to put on the pressure, quieten down the home fans, not give them a chance to get the upper hand, and Bromley have started excellently.
Corner kick to come in from Stirk. They're going to go straight to the front post. Reynolds, and again it's straight at Yaskalainen from Dennis. It's 2 chances inside the 18-yard box, straight at the goalkeeper both times.
Yeah, and another really good training ground routine.
8 minutes played. Woking 0, Bromley 0 here live on BBC Radio Surrey. Woking against Bromley, 4th against 7th in this second Vanarama National League playoff eliminator. It's a long ball from Yaskalainen, headed away by Wabuke. Flying in is Daly, who's come from an offside position. And Darren Sowell just sort of scuffs the ground in disarray. The first 10 minutes certainly belonging to the visitors.
Yeah, Woking really haven't had a moment in this, have they? Haven't been able to settle. They defended well because they've had to, but other than that, not been too much.
Clearance from Charles Cook. Up rises Cuthbert, back in the team tonight. Flicked on by Ammond. Normally has Reece Brown chasing those. And Elaroawe will shield it out for a Bromley throw.
And a bit of a relief to get the ball well into the Bromley half.
Indeed. Topolodge just grabbing the ball from Mona's corner, which I'm sure also packed as well. It's a sellout crowd here at the Laithwaite. Only happens every so often, doesn't it? Cheek barging Kellerman. Dennis surrounded by red and white shirts and gets it back from Cheek. McNerney had to get there. Hoisted away by Ince. Dacker's in the way though. And they give it back to Stirk. Ince still tussling. And now with Arthurs. Arthurs playing it down the line, looking for Dennis, and the goalkeeper took no chances.
Yeah. Well done by Yaskalainen. Could probably have gone down to catch it, but it's probably being on the safe side.
But again, you know, Woking failing to win the second balls at the moment. Bromley's midfield dominant.
John Moore and Ian Nicholson here on commentary duties with myself, Mark Francis. We've watched 12 minutes of Woking Bromley still goalless, but it's certainly the away side who are on top. Whiteley, too strong for Cheek. Goal kick. Did you say, Ian, that Woking are yet to, or John rather, Woking are yet to really wake up?
Yeah, they just need to settle down at the moment. They look very, very anxious out there, and possibly a bit surprised really by this very fast start from Bromley. They just need to settle down.
Yeah. Mentioned that good form on the road since the defeat here in February. A run of 8 games, 4 wins, 4 draws. I think they went into the Woking game in pretty similar form to what they're demonstrating now. It's a big task for them, highlighted by their manager, Andy Woodman. And they've shown a similar record on the road as they have at Hayes Lane. 9 wins at home, 9 wins away. That, of course, in the regular season, they finished on 71 points. 11 adrift of Woking. Woking throw on that far side. So Wanmi will now take. It's the Bromley boys that are bouncing exactly opposite where we are sat. Cheek wins the header. Cuthbert's turn. Chested down by Wabuke to Casey, who put his laces through it. Ammond is chasing. Reynolds wins the header. Then there's Stirk. Back to Reynolds. And Kellerman continues the press. This is better from the home team.
Yeah, that's what Woking need to do. They need to get their pressing game going. It worked very well against Solihull, but then Solihull are a team who like to play out from the back. So pressing really unsettled them. And whereas you know, I'd say Bromley a lot bigger, a lot more physical, and a lot more direct, really. So the pressing probably won't be as effective, but that was good from Kellerman.
Casey, searching for options, goes direct to Dackers, wrestling with Sawami, driven across by Daly. Kellerman was there, ball to Ince! Throw Rowan Ince puts Woking into the lead. Undeserved against the run of play. Woking hit back and with a goal from Rowan Ince. 13 minutes on the clock. Woking 1, Bromley 0.
Yeah, great strike, and that was putting pressure, and the ball came out to Ince just on the edge of the area, and he hit it fiercely, and keeper really had no chance. But first real pressure Woking have had, and great goal. I think that's it. Rowan Ince's 8th goal of the season. He doesn't normally score many goals, but he's really been on fire in terms of particularly shooting outside the box. So that will pick Woking up.
Yeah, fabulous strike from Ince. You know, he does come up with big goals for Woking when needed.
It's his 7th league goal of the season. If you're still counting this as the regular league, Rowan Ince has put Woking in front after 13 minutes. Bromley, who were knocking on the door, 2 saves from Will Jaskalainen, although comfortable, and this has certainly woken up the home team, because here they go again. Hammond on to Dackers, so Wumby chasing back, Dackers still going. Goal kick.
Yeah, Dackers didn't really have the pace on him there, did he? You would have thought he would have got that.
It's really where you wanted Rhys Brown on the pitch, you know, with that extra pace and zip about him.
Goal kick.
And the crowd giving Charles Cook in the Bromley goal some stick, no doubt remembering his part in getting Rhys Brown sent off.
Yeah. He's been a decent keeper though. I think he was at Swindon for quite a while. And obviously the Charles Cook family, both the others, Regan and Anthony, have been at Woking, but yeah.
Of course, Regan was here for a couple of seasons, and Anthony Cook in National League South. Header from Dackers, Stirk. Hammond just on the edge of the penalty area, it just wouldn't run for him though. Dan Moss and Dackers combined can intervene.
Well played by Dackers there.
Ince finds Jaskalainen, Stirk will chase him down. Certainly brought the noise up to a balance, because Bromley were having it all themselves over on the Chris Lane terrace. Certainly quite Woking down. Great challenge from Daly. Hammond over on the Woking left. Infield to Rowan Ince now, halfway through the Bromley half. Short pass to find Casey. Collected by Hammond on the far side there. Chips onto the midriff of Arthur's, and they have themselves a throw right over on that far side. Certainly the response that Darren Sarr would have wanted. Their first chance as well, Ian.
It was. Oh, what a noise. What a noise when that goal went in. It was terrific. And when you get a full stand like the Kingfield Road end with good lid on it, the sound really does go round.
Casey, short to Salomon Wabuke. Casey has time and space here. First time ball, looking for Dackers with the header. Hammond on the turn, nips it away from Daly, however. Woking still have possession on the edge of the box, right-footed into the area from Casey, nodded away by Topolodge. McNerney barges into the back of Michael Cheek, and Bromley have themselves a free kick.
Yeah, Bromley looking surprisingly, when they're under pressure and the ball's coming in, very uncertain and nervous. Going forward, they've been brilliant, you know, really good earlier on and good in midfield, but coming under pressure, they really do look very uncertain at the moment.
Charles Cook with the free kick. Just over a quarter of an hour played. Woking lead. Charles Cook over to the Bromley right. Looking for Cheap, but McNerney is there again. What's been the change to Joe McNerney's form this season, John, do you think?
I just think confidence, really. It seemed to evaporate under Dowson.
His father also said that the more Joe plays, the better he gets, and he's had a good run of games, either starting or on the bench, and he's been very good, very good.
It's terrific to catch up with him on Saturday as well. Of course, has played in League Two with Crawley, trying to get his boyhood club up into the Football League for the first time. Dackers, really good play from Woking. Solomon Wabuke now challenged by Arthurs. Oh, and just left it behind Moss, and Bromley can bring it away now on the counter-attack. Whiteley on the left flank, infield to Cheek. Cheek with his back to goal. Was he fouled by McNerney? No, says the referee, and in my opinion, right decision as well. Stab forward by Wabuke. Onto Dackers inside the centre circle. Needs a bit of support in a red and white shirt because he's surrounded by green ones. Back to McNerney and safely to Casey. Enjoying possession now, Woking. Lofted forward from the club captain. Looking for Wabuke. And met by Fisher. Good clearance as well. Gasping as well.
Daly flying in there and didn't quite get there.
Cuthbert lost out. And it's Whiteley again. Whiteley with Topolodge on the overlap. Here he is. Great cross. Great save from Jääskeläinen. At the second time of asking, flag came up anyway. Lewis Dennis arriving 6 yards out. It was a good save from Jääskeläinen because he can't have known too much about it.
Yeah, great counter-attack though from Bromley. Woking failing to win the second ball in midfield, and Bromley were away, and really that was a chance he should have taken.
Yeah, but I mean Jääskeläinen, he's not the tallest and he's young, but his agility is, I think, what probably gives him the edge at the moment, and that save showed that, even though it was offside.
Good clearance as well. And here's the goal scorer for Woking, Rowan Ince, finding Dackers, just sort of rebounds off his forehead. Away by Sawami and up in the air from Casey. Wabuke losing out. And here's Cheek just overrunning it, the wrong side of the line.
Yeah, Wabuke just needs to settle down a bit out there. He's running around like a crazy man at the moment, and when he does that, he loses the composure that he doesn't often have, and consequently gives the ball away very, very cheaply.
Started 4 of the last 5 now, Solomon Wabuke. Good performance on Saturday. As you say, Ian might need to work on his shooting.
He does probably need to work on his shooting, but he does have energy, and I think both Ince and Kellerman have shown signs, particularly, both I think, of fatigue. They played a lot of games, so bringing Wabuke just gives that bit of energy, more energy.
Acrobatically away from Ince, and the long ball from Bromley is straight through to Jääskeläinen. So 20 minutes on the clock. Woking in front, courtesy of a Rowan Ince effort on the edge of the box, which Reece Charles Cook didn't really even react. He was already past him, and away went the Woking players to celebrate in front of a Leslie Gosden stand, who were screaming with joy. Away from Jääskeläinen, all in orange tonight. Sawami's right underneath this one. Sawami, who's got 8 goals for Bromley this season from central defence. Kellerman, 25 yards out's gone for goal. It just didn't really have the dip necessary to catch out Charles Cook. It was there to be hit though, Ian.
Yeah, no, it was, and as we saw last Saturday, Kellerman has got a good shot on him when he cracked the bar, and Corbeau was able to follow up and take the goal. But he has got a great shot. He smiles at Darren Saal. Darren Saal probably saying, "What on earth was that?" and him saying, "Well, you got to give it a go."
Clearance from Charles Cook. Cuthbert in between 3 green shirts and over the head of Topolodge, who wants to throw and won't get it. Woking already can just begin to relax on the throw-ins and the corners. There's no need to rush. Long way to go, of course. Dan Moss's throw. Met by the head of Elaraway.
Great.
Gifted it away cheaply.
Yeah, but Integrates, good header there. He's sort of on it today. He's assertive. He's not holding back from those challenges, and he's been a bit up and down in recent games, but looking good today.
Up goes Cheek for the header. Back in goal scoring form the last few weeks. 5 in his last 6, and he was one of those rested on Saturday. I always tend to use a stat for Michael Cheek. He hits double figures a lot, and he has done so since every season back to 2013. Good challenge from Moss, but the foul came from Wabuke. It's his 4th season at Bromley now, Michael Cheek. 15 for the campaign.
Good striker, isn't he? Good striker, Michael Cheek. Very
every
good old-fashioned number 9.
Yeah, every time Woking play Bromley, you just know that he's going to be a threat. Hit 23 goals a couple of seasons ago. Courtney Langstaff made that look ordinary this campaign with 42, I think he ended with.
And no penalties.
And no penalties, but Paul Mullinen as well, hitting the late 30s. Up goes Dackers, loose ball to Wabuke. Not really got much support on, only really James Daly in front of him, and he's worked it well. Cleared away in the end by Bromley. Fisher. Throw taken quickly. Cuthbert up against Cheek. Who did the last touch come off? The Woking player, says the linesman.
See, Wabuke, you know, he had the ball over on the far side, and he tried to take his man on and go outside him. Why? He should have just held it up.
Yeah, waiting for the support.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was very isolated there, and it was. But yeah, so another long throw coming in was becoming a bit of a pattern. They're not the most dangerous long throws we've seen from some of the teams. Not toes alike, but they certainly have the distance on them.
Well, thank God Chris Bush left them.
Sawami has taken over though. Sort of miss-hit throw, if you like, in case he hammers it away. It does come from such a height though from Sawami, I guess. 6'6" of him.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Bush, he had a good long throw.
It was like a missile, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sawami's got another opportunity right in front of his travelling supporters who occupy all of the Chris Lane terrace. A small segment of the Leslie Goslin stand. Long throw from Sawami again. Flicks on at the front post. Jaskalainen's there. And Jaskalainen gets 2 white gloves to it and hits the deck to save a bit of time. Darren Saul asking Dan Moss, come out to this space.
I mean, not tempting fate, but you would think that long throws like that would be fairly comfortable with McNerney and Cuthbert. No, well...
Dackers didn't get there. I know what you're trying to say. Woking do have height in their team, particularly with Sawami taking the throws. Topolodge, Kellerman just caught him. Free kick.
Oh, man down. Hammond down.
This is not good for Woking. They don't really have too many attacking options. Corin Lofthouse and Charlie Wakefield, the best of those. 2 central defenders and a goalkeeper. And Hammond, who was rested on Saturday, appears to have a knock. Do you reckon this could be a little bit tactical, John?
I think it might be. It seems to kind of happen around this sort of mark, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
25 minutes in the first half, but it is rotated.
It is rotated, but it's not going to stop us from getting a little bit worried, if you like. So Darren Saul, first chance for him to fire some instructions to his players. Do you think he'll be pretty satisfied to the response after the first 10 minutes? Because it was all Bromley, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and Bromley still look very, very decent out there, very competitive, and I think they're very unfortunate, really, to be 1-0 down. They really are. I mean, it was Woking's first attack of the game, having been under the cosh, and really, Bromley should have gone ahead. I can't remember who it was who had that early opportunity, but he should have buried it.
Well, Whiteley and Dennis have both had chances.
Yeah, it was Dennis. Jaskalainen saved it, but really...
As Hammond gets to his feet.
Both...
By all means, very quickly.
Both sets of players have taken advantage of that injury break.
There has been a goal, Connor. 25 minutes played. Woking took the lead after 13 minutes. Really very against the run of play. It was Bromley who hit the heights in the first 10 minutes, forcing a couple of smart saves from Will Jaskalainen, but yet to breach the Woking back line. And the Cards simply ran up the other end and scored. Rowan Ince with his 8th goal of the season, his 7th in the league, if you still count this as the regular league, and has put Woking in front, and jubilant scenes in 3 corners of the ground. They're very close to adding a second with Jim Kellerman's looping effort from 30 yards out, but it still hangs in the balance as we approach half time. 20 minutes to go. Woking 1, Bromley 0.
But that was very harsh on Joe McNerney. I think Michael Cheek he was going down. He wasn't even trying to win the ball. And McNerney just went going for the ball. Really, very harsh.
Yeah, I don't know what McNerney was supposed to do. Cheek almost made a back for him, really.
He probably heard and felt him coming.
I mean, Joe really looks so determined out there. He really, really does.
Doesn't he? Yeah.
Absolutely. Looks like a warrior.
He finished Solihull with a black eye as well for his efforts. Short ball from Arthurs. Again, very well played as Cheek was onside. Hooked away from Wabuke. Hammond is chasing. But Whiteley can bring it away for the away team. Not sure what the allays were for.
Good chase for Podrick and Jim Kellerman coming along to tidy up. Podrick, his fitness levels this season have been unbelievable for a 35-year-old. 700 games. The only game he's missed really was last Saturday,
yeah.
That was when he was rested.
Yeah, he started 44 of the 46 games, came on as a substitute here against Altrincham and scored. And Ince just has to play it through the legs of Topolodge to concede another throw. Well and truly beyond the halfway point of the first half. Missed by Cheek. Goal kick.
Yeah, a bit of relief, and every event like that getting a huge cheer from the Woking fans. Long time to go still though. 45, what are we? 65 minutes.
Long way to go. Woking, who collected 40 points of their 82 at home this season, 42 away, who were 6th in the home form table and 3rd on the road. They get through tonight. One or two might fancy them at Chesterfield. Of course, one is there earlier this season, but very different times. It's probably Woking's best first half performance of the season up at the Technique Stadium. But more about that later, as the opponents are still uncertain. Chesterfield, Cheek rather, nice flick. Put forward by Stirk onto Dennis. Whiteley is there in close support. Dennis shaping for the shot, offloading to Stirk on the edge of the penalty area. Stirk rebounds off McNerney. Sawunmi around Daly. Cheek onside. Back to Fisher. He's yet to find the back of the net for Bromley this season. Stirk infield to Dennis. Met by Cuthbert and brought smartly under control by Dackers, but it's stolen off him by Elarawe, and Bromley come forward again. Whiteley, just like the opening exchanges. The visitors have plenty of the ball. Foul from Dackers. Topolodge wants to take it quickly, but the referee won't allow with a rolling ball.
I think frustration there from Dackers. He miscontrolled it and then gave away the free kick.
Whiteley aiming to go through the legs of Moss. Topolodge is there. Topolodge back to Whiteley, looking to break beyond Dan Moss, which he hasn't had too much joy in doing so far, and not that time either. I think he just left something on Dan Moss that time as well, Ian.
Yeah. Petulant foul, really. Again, born probably out of frustration.
Yeah, but, you know, Bromley not panicking. Their passing is so crisp. Really like the look of Stirk in midfield. He's on loan from Birmingham City. He's got great energy levels, and he's also getting up and down the pitch.
Again, another player who knows what it's like to play in League Two. 32 appearances for Mansfield last year. Just the one goal for Ryan Stirk this term. 22 years of age. That's his best years in front of him. As does Topolodge. 21 years of age, turns 22 next week. Kellerman wrestling with him, and Kellerman wins the throw.
It's a battle out there, isn't it?
It really
a lot
is.
Of these, not much room, very fast. It's not like the Premier League where you have time to get the ball and pick your pass. It's just fast and furious.
Frenetic is usually the term that you use, Ian, and I would apply a similar expression to this game so far. One goal in it, but a flurry of opportunities for the visitors. Kellerman first time crosses beyond everybody. It's a good hit, but Fisher will see that one out.
And Daly's been very quiet so
He has,
far.
isn't he?
Woking haven't really been able to get him on the ball. You know, he is the danger man in the absence of Brown.
Such a wonderful start to the season, didn't he, James Daly? But he's struggled in front of goal in 2023. He missed Saturday, also missed the 1-1 draw to Southend in a few games prior to that with injury. Concussion, I think, as well at some stage. Ince looking to play Ammon through, and Elarawe can bring it away for Bromley. Back into the Woking half with Topolodge. Around Moss, and Whiteley is there. Moss back into position though. And Whiteley, Stirk. Rushes past Kellerman. It's an ambitious ball to Cheek. He throws a leg at it. Goal kick. Kellerman's now gone down. But just to be aware of that ball from Ryan Stirk, as you mentioned, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's the player to watch out for, really. You know, when he gets on the ball, he does the simple things, but he does them very, very well. Always trying to pass forward.
And that looks... Jim Kellerman went down there, hit his legs in frustration, looked over towards the dugout.
It's as though Woking aren't going to hang about either.
No.
So this would be a blow.
And no O'Connell on the bench, so there's no real... there's certainly no central midfielder on the pitch. There's Charlie Wakefield or Karen Lofthouse.
I think they'd definitely go back to a 4-4-2 then, perhaps, for Bouquet and into midfield. Lofthouse to the right, Daly to the left, and leave Ammond and Dackers up top. So it might be a change in formation as well as personnel. You mentioned the reaction to Kellerman. He isn't one to fake an injury, if you like. But this would be some blow, John.
A huge blow, losing Kellerman. He's had a fantastic season. So integral to Woking's midfield. The combination with him and Ince, but it's not looking good. Having said that, he often looks a bit distressed and then
carries on.
manages to get up and carry on, but this is not looking great at all at the moment.
No, he's very red-faced as well.
Lofthouse is getting his shirt off and is on the touchline, so it looks like Lofthouse will be coming on.
Kellerman is to his feet. Will he be required? Lofthouse, as you say, Ian, is ready. It might be that Jim Kellerman's evening is already over, because Lofthouse is stretching away. And Kellerman just looks absolutely beside himself, doesn't he? You feel for him.
Yeah.
So Jim Kellerman replaced by Kyron Lofthouse. And Daly's already walking over to the left. Lofthouse doesn't need to go far, onto the right. So instructions from Ian Dyer is going to be a 4-4-2 for Woking. So not what Darren Sarr would have needed.
Absolutely, not this early in the game. But, you know, it's a chance for Lofthouse to really show what he is about. We know he's a player who's got a lot of talent. Just latterly he's struggled, you know, his confidence has taken a dip. And he's not really been the player that we know he can be.
And here he is for his first touch, but beaten into the air by his own player, Dackers. Moss went flying in there on Whiteley. Now the referee has a decision to make here. You know what Andy Woodman thought of it. He was straight to the fourth official and the linesman. The Bromley players appeal as well. I would have thought a yellow card. I didn't see too much.
Well, the free kick was given to Woking, wasn't it?
I didn't see. I just saw the whistle go.
Yeah, no, the free kick was given to Woking.
Any views there, John?
Well, to me, I thought it was an honest challenge from both players, really. Difficult to see really what the contact was, but all the Bromley players immediately surrounded the referee. But to me, it looked like an honest challenge. But as I say, you know, it's a difficult one to call. We didn't have the best view of it here.
No.
So still a decision to be made. So it is a free kick to Woking, as you say, Ian. And no further punishment for either player. So an interesting one, but as you say, John, not really the best view for us. It's just right below the other side of the dugout.
I think it was Moss who went in for the challenge. Yeah. And as I say, I thought it was two players challenging together. You know, it's a physical game, and the referee really wasn't swayed by Bromley protests.
Casey, excellent ball as well, but Nerney's underneath this, so too Sawunmi. Falls to Lofthouse on the edge of the box, but stolen off him by Stirk. Daly shaping for the shot though, has it on that left foot of his. Worked this really well. And Charles Cook gets there.
First moment of Daly, really very good the way, you know, his pace takes him past players so easily, and a good little testing cross, but Charles Cook was able to get there.
Excellent footwork from Topolodge infield to Dennis, who's come short for the ball here. Chasing is Lofthouse beyond Ammond. Moss takes a touch. Nice turn. And support is there as well with McNerney. Cuthbert. Floating ball to Dackers beyond El Arawe and straight through to Charles Cook. It's the name of the game really where Marcus Dackers is playing. Long ball and hope he can hold it up.
Yeah, which he didn't again then. You know, when it comes up to him, it must stick.
Clearance by Sawunmi. McNerney barging in on Cheek. And again, I don't really think he did too much wrong.
No, he didn't. I think Cheek just stops and McNerney goes in on the back of him. They're obviously targeting Joe McNerney, but all his eyes are on winning the ball.
And, you know, it is important that Cheek knows McNerney's around as well, and he's doing a great job so far. Cannot give a player like Michael Cheek space and time.
No.
Yeah. No, I think he's buying that, if I'm honest, but...
Can't see if the referee's booking him or just having a word with Joe.
Surely just a word. That cannot be a yellow card.
I think just having a word. I think probably explaining his interpretation of what is going on.
Well, you know what you don't want is one of your centre-backs on a yellow card this early into the game. So it's obviously a final warning, I would think.
Yeah. Of course, on Saturday, I think Woking had two players on yellows, two central defenders on yellows after 15 minutes? Wilkinson and Wopata.
Wopata, yeah, both on yellow cards very early on.
So a free kick to Bromley, 5-6 yards into the Woking half. The pressure in the last few minutes has dried up somewhat. But they'll be looking to close the half with a flourish. Woking looking to hold on to what they have. No Kellerman and Brown out there, two of their star players from this season. But still the 11 out there, certainly capable. Hands on knees for Darren Sarl. It's just a game that always feels like it's in the 90th minute. Stirk with the free kick. Towards the back post is Reynolds arriving totally unmarked. Across the face of goal. Who will it fall to? Dennis!
Yeah. But again, dangerous, well-worked ball, and really just an open header across the goal, and it could have been anybody's. And
well, it was another really well-worked move.
But plenty of them, haven't they?
Absolutely, and Woking have been caught out every time. This time it was Callum Reynolds at the back here, who was completely unmarked.
Yeah.
Goal kick. Just over 5 minutes to go until half-time.
Important to get to half-time. Keep the scores at least as they are.
It's Woking with mixed home form to close the regular season. 1 win in 5, and that was the 2-1 victory over Gateshead. Defeats here to Chesterfield and Halifax. The 2 draws to Southend and Barnet. So they have struggled on this turf in the last few weeks, but they are in front here. Up goes Moss, climbing all over the back of Cheek. Cheek just gives Moss.
He just bends over
well.
Cheek. You know, it's each time he just makes himself low. He's experienced, clever player.
Topolodge. Cheek, sandwich between 2 Woking players, and they just hammer it away. Anywhere will do at the minute. Dackers half-heartedly chasing Charles Cook. Ella Railway. Daly, it's just blocked off there by Reynolds. Both players go to ground, but now to their feet. Charles Cook gets the clearance into the air. Cheek caught by Cuthbert, was he? No. Slice clearance from McNerney, but to say Ian, anywhere will really do at the minute.
Yeah, that was. And again, Cheek really he handled, Cuthbert very well. You don't get much more experience than Cuthbert.
Topolodge around Kyron Lofthouse. Was he caught? Yes, he was. And another free kick, John Moore in a good position.
Yeah, and Lofthouse really needs to do better there. Got to get these challenges in, not just let players go past you as easily as that.
Every Woking player back here. 5 minutes to go until half-time. Woking 1, Bromley 0 here, live on BBC Radio Surrey. It's the playoffs, and it's the knockout stages already. Can you believe it? And we're nearly halfway through this one. Long, long way to go, of course. Be the left boot of Stirk. Over the wall, and the header.
Yeah.
Well and truly over the crossbar. Not too sure who got the final touch.
Well defended that by the Woking line, forcing Bromley into heading it over the goal.
Yeah, another decent delivery into the box from Stirk.
The loss of Kellerman has certainly taken some of the momentum out of Woking at the moment, and they really need to regroup really and get hold of the ball and begin to build something.
Long clearance as well from Jaskalainen. It's picked up by Daly, right over on that far side, but stolen off him by Arthurs. And around Casey as well, down the line looking for Cheek, but on differing wavelengths. As McNerney was caught, was he? No. Referee allows play to go on with Michael Cheek bursting forward now. It's Whiteley. They have Dennis in the box across the face of goal. Moss will get there ahead of Dennis in the end. Beautifully worked down that right flank for Bromley.
Yeah.
Woking complain. Corner kick. Dan Moss, good job.
Dan Moss, very good job. 2 players who don't normally miss out on 50-50s. Lost the ball from Woking, and Bromley were really attacking in numbers, and Moss covered well and cleared his lines to give away the corner.
Which will be taken once again by Ryan Stirk. Dennis has gone short. It's direct. It's very central as well. It'll fall to Fisher on the edge of the box. The only player back, Corey Whiteley for Bromley, and here he is on the edge of the centre circle. Floated back into the danger area. Reynolds is there, so too is Stirk. Casey's header beyond Cuthbert. Up goes Lofthouse this time. Stirk inside the penalty area, looking to wriggle between Casey and Cuthbert. And eventually Cheek, another squandered opportunity. It was Reynolds, probably who went for goal, but found Cheek in the end at the back post. but straight at Jääskeläinen.
And Cheek, couldn't control it and end up going bobbling into Jääskeläinen's hands. Good pressure there from Bromley, and Cheek couldn't compose himself, and getting a lot of a big cheer from the fans being the Kingfield Road end behind.
Jääskeläinen taking up all of his allotted 6 seconds and more. Good clearance as well, because here's Amund off the back of his head, finds Lofthouse. Lofthouse still going. Elarawe would take it off him. Free kick actually goes Bromley's way. I think it was rather misfortunate, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit harsh, I think. We're not close to it, but it fell down, and Lofthouse just went for the ball. Really, I thought that was a bit of a soft one.
Bromley goalkeeper smashes it clear. It's underneath the head of McNerney, picked up by Sturck directly to Whiteley, who probably wasn't ready for it. So Umley was, but he slips. And here's Dackers turning infield, locating Kyron Lofthouse. Elarawe standing in his way. Lofthouse brushes him aside. Kyron Lofthouse, Elarawe does get there and wins the ball, but at the expense of a Woking throw. And that's why you want to see Kyron Lofthouse with the ball at his feet and chasing and marching past defenders.
It looks like there's no free kick given, so that was a well covered. That was a good covering tackle.
So player down for Bromley. I think it's Elarawe. Again, our view is slightly restricted with the dugouts. It is a Woking throw. Darren Searle takes time to speak to his 2 experienced central defenders, and indeed his captain. Bouquet's come from a quick drink as well. Elarawe receiving some attention. We're going to see the board for added time in the next few moments. So Elarawe is sitting up. And I would have thought be okay to continue. A short
We've got no other
here.
scores to look at tonight, have we?
I know, that's normally where my go-to really is, isn't it? But not much else happening. Of course, a couple of games in the Premier League, but it's good that the playoff games get this sort of coverage. 6 additional minutes, John Moore. Haven't seen that face for a long time.
No.
Wow.
So 6 additional minutes. Yeah, about Amund's injury and Kellerman's and now Elarawe's. So
a couple of Bromley players down as well. So yeah,
and the
it's
goal.
Still a surprise, isn't it? Normally just 2 minutes goes up regardless of what's happened.
So 6 minutes between Woking and half-time. You always seem to get a response from Darren Searle teams at half-time as well.
I mean, the World Cup started this extended injury time, didn't it? Obviously, a diktat went out. Probably rightly so, actually.
Yeah, but it just showed you how ridiculous things were before, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what did they do? Just ignore it? One of your only jobs is to keep the time, and you couldn't.
Yeah.
Absolutely ludicrous.
But weren't there some games 16 or 17 minutes, weren't there? I think.
Yeah.
Crazy. As I said earlier on in the season, I think after 5 games, we already had an additional game with all the added time. So Elarawe needs a new shirt by the looks of it. So Bromley temporarily down to 10, but Woking can resume with the throw that they won. Dan Moss locating Patrick Amund right by the corner flag, infield to Lofthouse, but it's not near him or Dackers. And Reece Charles Cook can claim Elarawe is back on the pitch, but I think he might be numberless. And indeed he is. That's going to make our job much more enjoyable.
So would that be blood then?
I think so, yeah. Again, it's a long way from us, but that would make obvious sense. Cuthbert crouching to the header, picked up by Daly but stolen off him by Arthurs inside the centre circle. Back to Omar Sawanmi at the right central defensive position for the visitors. Arthurs, Fisher, Daly just didn't need his hands on Fisher there. Woking had the numbers and the bodies.
I know. Frustrating, these little niggly fouls that keep getting given when Woking look like they're getting a bit of pressure going.
Sawanmi runs away. I was going to say the goalkeeper, an awful long way to take that one, but instead Corey Whiteley reverts back into his own half to take this free kick. So 6 additional minutes to the first half. We played 2 of those already. Woking looking to see this out. Whiteley, it's not a good ball. Shouldered away by Lofthouse. Bromley fans want handball, won't get it. Whiteley got a second opportunity to bring this forward now. Over to the right to find Dennis. Dennis ricochets off the calf of Casey. Dennis has it back. Good 1-2 with Whiteley. Arthurs back to Dennis. Really good play. Excellent ball into the box. Headed away by Dackers. Up rises Cheek. And again across the 6-yard area. Goal kick is given. But it's Whiteley and Dennis causing the problems for Bromley again, John.
Absolutely. Quick passing. Slick. They've been a real handful out there so far. And Woking need to get to half-time quickly.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful cross, really testing, and you know, Dackers did well. He was back on his line virtually and got the header half clear, and then it went out for a goal kick,
which Jaskalainen disperses once again. Ammond tugging Elarawe's new shirt. The latter nods it out for a Woking throw right in front of the tunnel, which Moss will take charge of. Beyond Topolodge, Bouquet's header will be comfortably out for a goal kick.
You often hear other teams when Woking play against them and do well saying, you know, we were bullied by Woking's physicality and pace, and I certainly wouldn't say Woking are being bullied tonight, but it's Bromley are, you know, physically they probably had the edge in many sections of the half.
Charles Cook's clearance is much better, but McNerney is straight there to attend to it. So Wami lets the ball bounce away from Daly. Up goes McNerney again with Bouquet. Daly knew he was offside, so sort of just let the ball run. But it's in a good area. Woking can quash them up the pitch. So Wami with the throw. Deep inside, first half, injury time rather. Dennis. Cut up by Rowan Ince. Dennis with another clearance, but Cuthbert was underneath it. Good header from Daly. Then by Sturck with Bouquet left-footed clearance. So Wunmi was there to it first. Brought down left-footed by Lofthausen. With Bouquet, was he caught? No, says the referee. Another free kick to Bromley on the halfway line. Darren Searle calling for calmness again, Ian.
Yeah, but I think there was an opportunity of a Woking free kick earlier there. I think he did look like he was caught, and then something very soft gives away the free kick to Bromley.
Sturck will chase. Started to become a little chilly here at the Laithwaite. Very blustery conditions after what's been a fabulous day here in Surrey. Great conditions for football. Dackers his header. With Bouquet, his shirt was being tugged, and Daly now motoring forward over on the Woking left with Bouquet to his right and Ammond. Daly still going. Has he run it too far? He has. But he really was galloping at pace there.
Why didn't he have the opportunity there to get really? I mean, players were up with him. He could have got the ball across the area, and or even just did it a bit softer, but he just overhit it at the wrong time. But his pace is frightening. It's almost like a Bale type, pace really out wide.
Up rises Lofthouse to the header. Ammond getting his body across. Lost out to Whiteley. And now Bromley's turn to come forward, and with numbers and pace. Cuthbert cuts it out, straight back to Dennis, prodding back through to Whiteley, who got his body across. Michael Schick with an opportunity. Goalkeeper comes out, falls to Fisher, ricochets off Casey, and Ammond can bring it away from Woking. Stunning save from Jaskalainen, and crucial intervention from Josh Casey. Ian Nicholson.
Brilliant defence and a brilliant save from Jaskalainen. And again, that was Whiteley. Whiteley's play there just in the build-up was brilliant, and you have to say, for all the fact that Bromley have been so strong, Woking's defence has been superb this game.
Yeah.
By all 11 men, but they've been under a lot of pressure.
Who would you say has been the better of the two teams, John?
Oh, Bromley, by a shadow of a doubt. You know, they bossed the game really. Woking have had one opportunity and scored. Bromley have had countless opportunities and yet failed to find the net. You know, they've been quicker, fluent, stronger. They really have played very, very well. As I say, Woking are very fortunate to be 1-0 up.
They certainly are. That's the thoughts of Ian and John at half-time. A big second 45 minutes to come here on BBC Radio Surrey. But just before we break for half-time, it's our final radio update of the half. But for our regular listeners on the web and app, it's Woking 1, Bromley 0. Connor, hi, welcome back to the Laithwaite Community Stadium, where it is half-time in this playoff eliminator. Woking 1, Bromley 0 is the half-time score. But just reacting there to the comments from my two summarisers tonight, Ian Nicholson and John Moore, Bromley have been the better team, Connor, it must be said. Starting the game brightly with a couple of clear-cut opportunities and Will Jaskalainen's goal, but both chances went straight to the Woking goalkeeper, all in orange. But Woking just ran up the other end and scored with Rowan Ince. Great finish on the edge of the box, put them in front. Then for the next 5-6 minutes they did start to establish a bit of control in the game with a couple of half-hearted opportunities on the Reece Charles Cook goal, but couldn't find a second. And in the 10-15 minutes, if you like, going into half-time, of which there were 6 minutes added on, Bromley came back at them, and a great chance for Michael Cheek at the end. Excellent save from Will Jaskalainen. Cheek was following up, or Fisher was following up, from the Cheek effort, and Josh Casey just simply threw his body at it. The Woking defending has been immense. They haven't really shown too much going forward, but they have the all-important goal here. It's half-time, Connor. Woking 1, Bromley 0. Lovely, nice one, all the best, guys.
Season tickets now available to purchase for next season. They're available at the early bird price, with £249 for adult male concessions, £109 for next gen, £79 for under 17s, and £69 for under 14s. The early bird pricing will run until 12 o'clock on Saturday the 3rd of July, so be sure to secure tickets early for next season. Green number and shown on the screen is ticket number 28173. The ticket number 28173, congratulations, you won yourself £537, and the second part is coming up shortly.
Craig Ross's last home game. Midfield, we've got nothing in midfield. So we're just taking a long ball and just coming back. I mean, Kellerman is our engine there, really. Anderson is sucked a bit.
Bromley returned for the second half, alert and ready, knowing their job. They're a goal down. They have to score for, of course, anything to happen to their benefit. Andy Woodman emerges from the tunnel, and we await the return of the home team, Woking, and their manager, Darren Sarll. Kick-off for the second half coming up shortly. And here come the home team, making Bromley wait a couple of extra minutes, but they're back for the second half. Bromley, meanwhile, in a huddle. Final instructions and messages from the leading personalities in their camp. But Woking are back for the second half. Looks to be no changes at the break either. So let's run through the team. Starting this time with the visitors, Reece Charles Cook continues in goal. A back three of Callum Reynolds, Omar Sawami and Deji Elarawawe. The wing backs are Kellen Fisher and Bessart Topolodge. And in the centre, Ryan Stirk and Jude Arthurs have had an excellent first half. So too have the wide men in Lewis Dennis and Corey Whiteley. Michael Cheek with 2 or 3 chances in the first half, kept out by Will Jaskalainen. Here's the Bromley number 9, Woking, with Will Jaskalainen in goal. A back four of Moss, Cuthbert, McNerney and Casey, who have all been at the top of their game so far. Kellerman taken off in the first half, replaced by Kara Lofthouse, so he is on the right. Daly to the left, Ince and Wabuke central. Dackers and Ammond, the 2 leading strikers for Woking. Slice left-footed clearance by Suwambi, falls to Wabuke, 30 yards out, wanted to go for goal. Dackers, meanwhile, will go for goal. Low strike, just pulled it wide, however. Early chance goes Woking's way. 20 seconds into the second half, of which they're shooting towards the Kingfield Road end. That's right to left as we look here in the commentary box, and Bromley left to right towards the Leslie Goslin stand.
Yeah, good interception there by Wabuke, laid it off to Dackers, who made space for the shot. Wasn't too bad, but not on target. And but you know, Woking will certainly be looking for more from Solomon Wabuke and the midfield, who were really overwhelmed at times in the first half.
Throw taken quickly from Moss, looking for Lofthouse. Reynolds lets the ball run across his body. Lofthouse didn't give it up. Neither has Moss, who's wrestling with Topolodge. Nice turn from Moss. Needs a bit of help with Wabuke, just rebounding off knees there. Moss in possession now, right over by that corner flag. Gets a low ball to Lofthouse. Ball is still alive here with Kyron Lofthouse. Low ball, Ammon strike, cut out by Reynolds, I think it was. And Bromley can get it away with Whiteley. Lofthouse pulling back his man there. Bromley free kick.
Yeah, but Ammon ready to pull the trigger there, and he didn't quite get to him.
Yeah, good to see Lofthouse coming out, looking determined. I noticed when he was going off at half-time, Darren Sarll was... Sorry, just stopping there. Darren Sarll was having a word with him, you know, to try and get him G'd up.
Yeah.
The flag came up. You may have heard 1 or 2 jeers for the Bromley player. That was Jude Arthurs, who missed an open net anyway, despite the fact that the play had been halted by the referee.
You know, technically Woking have got 2 wide players with pace.
Yeah.
Who should be able to get higher up the pitch.
Yeah, I agree.
The noise from the Kingfield Road end is magnificent. They're playing their part in what is a monumental occasion for this football club. Sawami with another towering header, but Nerney more cushioned to Dan Moss. First time clearance straight into the path of Kyron Lofthouse was absolutely spot on. Challenging Elarawawe, who's almost casting his shadow. Moss gliding a ball into the penalty area. Dackers is there, tugging with Dackers, and Fisher smashes it clear.
And the inevitable shout of handball when it was absolutely nowhere near his hand, but it's the wishful thinking cheer, isn't it?
It's worth a try. Louis Dennis has now gone down for Bromley, asking for support. James Daly's now coming straight over to Darren Searle, so despite the fact we played just shy of 3 minutes, already Darren Searle not happy with something.
Yeah, although I would say Wokingham started, it's
Much
only been
better.
2 or 3 minutes, but they've started this half a lot better on the front foot, won some 50-50s in midfield, getting the ball ready. Lofthouse has been on the ball a couple of times, but as I say, very early days.
So it will be Bromley's first change of the half, because I don't think that Lewis Dennis can continue, and that's a real shame for Bromley because he's been one of their leading lights so far. But replaced by Adam Marriott, who is certainly coming on with a threat himself. 10 goals this season for Marriott, 9 with Dennis. And that's the thing with Bromley this campaign, and they've had goals from all over the front phase, if you like, not just falling to Michael Cheek.
And they've been, their best form has been since Christmas, and before Christmas they were quite up and down really, but they really forced their way really into the playoffs, and good on them for doing that. But the thing you get at this stage of the season, we've seen it with Kellerman, we've seen it with Dennis, players are carrying strains and injuries and getting through from one game to the other, and sooner or later the body just gives out, and it looks like that's what happened there with Louis Dennis.
Straight swap, Marriott for Dennis, so one substitute apiece, early stages of the second half. Jaskalainen, good left-footed clearance right up into the night sky. Floodlights on here on this Wednesday evening. Dakers up against his old foe Sawambi, headed on by Ammond. Daly lets it run, or takes it off. Casey, there is the club captain for Woking. Last touch I think came off the Bromley man, it did. Daly and Casey just getting in each other's way there.
Yeah, but positive from Woking, getting both players forward.
Well, there's no player within 15-20 yards of Josh Casey.
Josh Casey suddenly discovered a long throw?
Yeah, well, we're about to find out. Dakers is the closest player to him, and he must be the best part of 25 yards away on the edge of the 6-yard area. Casey, it is a long throw. Up goes Dakers. Now falls to Rowan. Ince took it off. Well, Bouquet acrobatically over the head from Ince and was never near the goal.
That would have been
extraordinary.
It would have been extraordinary, but it wasn't.
Charles Cook with the clearance. And there's surely enough pace on that one for Casey to see how to play, although I think Marriott might have actually prevented the goal kick. So he's come on in a flash. So Lewis Dennis, who was here for a 5-year spell between 2013 and 18, left the club, now he's back. He went to Leyton Orient. So again, another player who's had Football League experience, which both these two clubs are aiming for in this playoff eliminator. A trip to Chesterfield awaits on Sunday. Of course, if Woking are there, you will hear it on BBC Radio Surrey on Sunday afternoon. Final next Saturday at Wembley. Notts County and Chesterfield yet to enter the fray.
And you've got a bunch of clubs now that seem to be always threatening or threatening the playoffs. Obviously Woking have got here for the first time, but Bromley, Boreham Wood, been in and around each time, and Woking will be hoping, obviously they'll be hoping to go up, but if they don't, they'll be hoping to be one of those 7 or 8 teams that always threaten to get in the playoffs.
And that's what the project was all about from John Katz and Drew as well. Sustainability, to have a platform to build on season after season. Of course, we see so much change in the National League, 2 coming down and 4 coming up. All it takes is a bit of injection of cash, and one team can go from one end of the table to the other. Infield from Stirk to find Marriott. Gave it back to Stirk, shaping for a shot. Now arriving over on the far side is Top Lodge looking for Cheek. And Woking cut it out with either Moss or McNerney. You see,
I think it was Moss and then McNerney. I think mainly Moss, and he's done a couple of real key interceptions tonight.
And we're queuing up in the box. Nervous times for Woking, John. I was going to say nervous times for Woking.
Yeah, absolutely. Need to defend this set play well. Could be another training ground routine.
We shall see. They've had many corners.
I think Woking need to get their coach, their training ground routine coach, I think.
Towards the front post, Cuthbert got the last touch, so it will be another Bromley throw. And the noise is coming from those travelling supporters over on that far side.
And I hope I'm not going to curse Woking, but this season they've looked a lot stronger dealing with set plays than in recent seasons.
Corner comes in again, similar sort of area, flicked on by Reynolds. McNerney was there. Stirk. Well, I think the reaction will say it all for you.
That was
Didn't
very
get
well
any
defended,
sort of connection, did he?
but very well defended, because that was a difficult ball in, and they let it go, so it's flying there. Woking seem to be getting to all these balls first, which is so important.
Goal kick to be taken by Jaskalainen. Just looking to step it up a gear, because they started the second half really promisingly. Up goes Dackers for the header. Ammond onside. Patrick Ammond, can he get the goal in? No, he cannot. Blocked across the face of goal. Ricochets off his shoulder. Excellently fed through from Dackers. Casey with the cross. Nodded away, only to Wabuke. Back to Ammond. Curling effort. Just beyond the far post. Charles Cook did push it round it. Woking corner. Their best two chances of the second half. Patrick Ammond with both of them.
Yeah, much better from Woking, and great defending by Charles Cook, and Ammond had a great chance there, and then the second one was curling. I'm not sure that it would have gone in. It might have just gone around the post, but even so, much better from Woking, and nice to see that they can really put those good moves together in attack.
Excellent header from Marcus Dackers as well, John.
I was just going to say, it was a great flick on. We need to see more of that. But Woking definitely starting this half much better.
Casey, right hand in the air. Lofthouse and Daly on the edge. Wabuke and Moss have stayed back for Woking. Mainly to Marshall, Corey Whiteley. Cuthbert, McNerney, Ammond, Ince and Dackers in the penalty area for Woking. The referee has just told Josh Casey to hold on just for a moment. Cuthbert is too close to Charles Cook, apparently.
Yeah, a bit of a shoving match on the line there with Cuthbert involved.
The big Scot is up. Referee blows his whistle. Casey, take two. Right beyond the goalkeeper. McNerney goes to ground. Upright is Daly, and away by Cheek. Lofthouse is there to atone for the error and just hammers it up into the night sky and beyond Ammond, who will let it bounce out for a Bromley throw, of which we will need a.
But what a chance there was for Ammond. It really was. You know, if that goes in, you feel Woking are on their way.
Shouts of Cardinals from the home support. Looking forward to seeing the attendance as well. It's reported to be a sellout crowd here this evening. One of the big occasions. Over McNerney, Cuthbert chasing here. Whiteley's all over the back of him. Throws out a leg, and Jaskalainen, good clearance too. Dackers pushed it back by Sawunmi. Ammon keeps it the right side of the line. Backpedaling was Fisher, and brought down stylishly by Stirk. Clearance by Reynolds, straight out the other end of the pitch, which Casey gets to, and then tidied up by McNerney. And again, a first-time clearance from Jaskalainen is really good, and Dackers is underneath it. Stirk, challenge from Dackers, is strong and powerful, and Wabuke is bursting forward now, has Lofthouse shipped out to the right. Dan Moss getting there all the time, the overlap. Lofthouse, cross, looking for Dackers, Sawunmi there, and Stirk can bring it clear. Casey with the header, just too strong for Dackers once more. It's beginning to become a little bit stretched, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, Woking have pushed up, they're much more compact, and Wabuke is getting stuck in the middle of the park and winning these all-important second balls.
And a good ball in from Lofthouse as well, testing cross.
Cheek pushing away at McNerney, but it didn't halter the latter's momentum. Thought that was a Woking throw, but they'll let it run. Sawunmi will take charge again. It's been a real good battle between Dackers and Sawunmi. Similar build, similar heights, and similar in their heading talents. Direct throw as well. Upright is Casey. Instead it run for Daly. Bit of miscommunication there, but Daly down the line, which Dackers retrieves. Ammond, it opens up for him. Shipped out to the right to Lofthouse. Infield to a bouquet. Couldn't get the wrong side of Elarawe, who stood cool and stood firm. And Sturt can bring it away. Nice bit of trickery to locate Arthurs. And back into the Woking half it is.
And suddenly this game has opened up a bit.
Really has. Topolodge letting fly. Lofthouse got the block in, but the danger's not over with Whiteley flying in there. Was Moss. Penalty! Penalty or free kick? It's very hard to see.
Penalty, I think.
I think he's given the penalty, Ian.
I think he has, out of nowhere. Stupid penalty to give away from nowhere.
Yeah, it looked like Moss to me, I think. Possibly mistimed it, but either way, you know, it was an unnecessary free kick or foul to give away there, really. Just jockey, you know. Now it's given Bromley a lifeline.
It really has. And maybe more than that, a potential equalising goal will surely be Michael Cheek. It was Dan Moss flying in just inside the penalty area. The spotlights or the torches from the Woking fans behind the goal to do anything they can to put off Michael Cheek. Will Jaskalainen doesn't look the biggest in the net from 12 yards. Michael Cheek, hands on hips, has the chance to bring Bromley level in this Vanarama National League playoff eliminator. Every player outside the box. Michael Cheek from 12 yards. The referee, whistle to mouth. Michael Cheek up against Will Jaskalainen. Michael Cheek sends Jaskalainen the wrong way, and the Bromley fans erupt into joy. They're level on the hour mark. It's Woking 1, Bromley 1.
Yeah, that is a shot in their own foot there, really, from the Woking. It was obviously a passionate game, and the tackles have been flying in, but very, very soft. And Michael Cheek now trying to gee up his own fans.
Yeah, and just looking at that goal again, or the penalty, how it came about, Woking lost the ball in the middle of the field and gave Bromley the opportunity to break swiftly. And as we've seen all evening, when you give them that opportunity, they look so dangerous. It's a shame, really, because Woking have started this half really well too.
Yeah, both teams have scored when the other have been on top. So a clear reflection on the game. 1-1 with half an hour to play, and either team still have a chance of a date with Chesterfield on Sunday. The Cards need to find another gear though. They need to just step it up a notch. The supporters are playing their part, but it's the Bromley fans you can hear in the background. Up goes Ince. Cheek's header with Bouquet cutting it out with Lofthouse. Hammond just didn't bounce kindly for him, and a long searching ball from Arthurs, who's straight through to Will Jaskalainen. What does Darren Searle do, Ian? Does he react or just let the 11 players that are out there do the job?
Well, he looks pretty unhappy at the moment. I think Woking needs to take heart from the last 10 minutes or so, and the fact that they were having a bit more of the play, they were having chances, they were playing well actually, and making a few opportunities, and they really need to clear their heads, get back to doing what they've been doing for the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Bromley will have their own chances, but Woking have got to make theirs.
Of which they have had the better of the opportunities, bar the Hammond double, if you like, just prior to the Bromley equaliser. Dacker's surely being pulled to ground. Arthurs intervenes. And away by Topolodge. Wabuke, nice dummy. Back to Moss, short ball to Wabuke. Around the fullback. Was he caught? Yes.
See, that's better because they're playing it to feet and they're putting pressure on, and that draws the fouls from Bromley.
And also they're getting it into wide areas. Lofthouse is getting some joy down that right hand side and stretching them a bit and asking a few questions, which is what Woking have got to do. I keep stressing their wide men have really got to try and get heavily involved in this game.
And they've got to dig deep as well, Woking. They've got to step it up. Go to where they haven't been before. Casey, Dacker's header. Wide of the mark.
But
wide of the mark.
thumbs up from Darren Saal.
Goal kick to be taken by Reece Charles Cook.
Woking have also got to try and force some corners. I can't remember them having any.
It was just the Casey corner from
Absolutely,
the Ammons
and we
chance,
know how
that's it.
dangerous Woking are from set plays.
Yeah. They've got the height, haven't they? With Dackers, and when the big men from the back get up as well. Up goes Cuthbert for the header. With Bouquet. Doesn't bring it under control, instead puts some air into it. Lofthouse off his shin, it's a poor touch. Whiteley is there, Topolodge. Clearance by Cuthbert is shown to the Bromley supporters. It's Bromley that have their tails up though. They were defeated in this segment of the playoffs 2 years ago. Nice bit of trickery from Whiteley. Low cross, rebounds off McNerney, and away by Wabuke. Of course, Hartlepool beat them 2 years ago and went on to win it on penalties against Torquay. They're looking to atone for that now. Elarawe to Stirk. Hammered clear by Moss, ricochets off a Bromley player, Woking throw.
Woking just got to see this spell of pressure out really, and you know, gather their heads a little bit.
Moss beyond Dackers. Stirk hoisted away, but Noni wants the flag and he does get it. Marriott offside.
Yeah, and I think you know, just looking at the bench here, the options for Darren Saal and you know, obviously Craig Ross, goalkeeper, it's Luke Wilkinson, Kacper Lopata, and Charlie Wakefield, who obviously when he came on before picked up a very quick injury, and you would hope that he's now over that and is risk-free.
Really is the depleted team of Woking. They are struggling with injuries, but they've got enough talent out there on that pitch, including this man, Marcus Dackers. Kicks the ball in play. Nice back heel to Casey, but read by Fisher. Cuthbert's chasing here, but sees Jaskalainen alert and aware. Josh Casey, who's been there and done it with Woking before here.
Yeah, he's a warrior, Josh Casey. In these situations, he's one of those few players you want who'll just drive the team forward, drive himself forward till the final whistle goes.
Of course, Woking won the National League South playoffs with 78 points, 4 fewer than what they finished with this season, albeit more games this campaign, beating Wildston and Welling. Also had the Watford game that season rather. It's only big games over the years. This really does top the pile. A chance of history for both clubs. As Casey zips one forward beyond Ince. Stirk wins the header on Daly. Marriott. Daly wins it back. 30 yards out, just again overran it. Bounces off the chest of Ince, didn't know too much about it. Chesting it down was Casey on this near touchline. Wabuke infield, surrounded by green shirts. Finds Daly, who wants to go himself. Daly cut out by Whiteley. Ince is there, McNerney 30 yards out. Daly, can he let fly? Daly working the chance, low cross, rebounds off Reynolds over the head of Ammond, and Whiteley clear on Cheek, who turns, and Woking are cut apart here. Moss getting back, Cheek slips at the crucial time. What a let off. McNerney and Cuthbert doing their best to get back as Lofthouse was brought down by Elarawe. And we will see a yellow card for the Bromley left back.
Well, what a relief that Cheek slipped then. I thought he was away.
He's had a frustrating evening, really. He's had various slips and miscontrols, and that turn to come away was brilliant.
Yeah, had the better and beating of McNerney and Cuthbert.
Yeah, whether he had the pace to go much further, I don't know, but then he's just slipped, you know. And Marriott was piling through for the pick up the loose ball.
25 minutes to play. Woking 1, Bromley 1 here on BBC Radio Surrey. So our coverage of the playoffs. 4th against 7th. Casey into the box. Cuthbert is there. So too is Ammond. Couldn't direct it goal bound with much pace or power. And Bromley just slowing things down themselves, looking to ride their own wave at the minute. end-to-end pressure from both sides, it must be said. They're both going for it.
Pressure's the word, isn't it? It's just, this could go anyway.
It really can.
Even to the dreaded penalties.
Moss. Gaskelainen any further out, and there'll be one or two more grasped from the Leslie Goslin stand from behind the goal. Actually launched out to Moss from the goalkeeper. Lofthouse, who's had the beating of Topolodge in the last quarter of an hour. Moss goes back to Jaskelainen on his weak foot. Right-footed clearance flicked on by Wabuke and then by Ammond, and now Lofthouse is on his bike. Kyron Lofthouse on the Woking right has Dackers and Daly in the box. Lofthouse looking to go the long way around Topolodge, who's brought him down again. No free kick, and pulls back. Topolodge does Lofthouse.
I mean, how that wasn't a free kick for a foul on Lofthouse, I have absolutely no idea. The linesman is right there looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, you could see from the way Lofthouse went down, that wasn't a dive.
Just assumed for the free kick.
He almost did a cartwheel down. It was just, you know, it's just so obvious.
They are finding joy on the flanks, aren't they? Daly's much more busy, as is Lofthouse. Wabuke and Ince are just key to what everything Woking do, whether it's back in defence or going forward. Oh, Cuthbert surely pushed there, yeah. As was Moss. Wabuke was claiming for a free kick and then wasn't aware. And McNerney's lofted out to Whiteley in the wrong position. Players arriving in the box. Marriott and Jaskelainen was there. Marriott caught the goalkeeper. Jaskelainen made every yard of it, it must be said. Marriott, there was a ball to be won.
Well, yeah, maybe. I still think he went in a bit unnecessarily on Jaskelainen. I have to say, he was lucky that Jaskelainen didn't do what their keeper did here when Reece Brown clattered into him and make a meal of it.
No further punishment for Marriott. He remains the one change
Jaskelainen
for
was
Bromley.
very honest there. He could have,
Yeah.
he could have easily stayed down, and he just got straight back up.
Another good clearance down the centre of the pitch. Dackers beaten to it by Reynolds. Balls to Ammond halfway inside the Bromley half, but lets it run to Ince. Short ball now to Josh Casey, who's on the overlap. Josh Casey now up against Kellen Fisher. Casey are waiting for Rowan Ince's support. Casey's just a bit stuck between options. Daly's asking for where he wants it, but it was short from Ince, and Fisher can bring it away. It hits Solomon Wabuke, not too sure what part of the body it was. Surely brought down and wasn't, and cleared away by Reynolds. Hacked away to the left side of the pitch where Whiteley is waiting. Slipped from him, and Moss can surely get the better of him. Nope, Topolodge, good clearance. Marriott now charging forward. McNerney's come across. Marriott onside. McNerney standing strong. He's got to be aware that there's another Bromley player arriving. McNerney with the touch. Bromley corner. John Moore.
Well, again, another free kick that the referee missed. Clearly in the middle of the park there was a foul. Anyway, it's now a corner to Bromley over on that far side, and this game is just end to end.
Yeah.
Really is a fantastic contest between the two, and both sides really going for it. Business end of the season. What can either team find? 20 minutes to play. Stirk, another responsible corner kick to the front post, and then again Jaskelainen was caught flag, came up, too sure what for, possible offside. Jaskelainen hits the deck, he's going to be okay. You just get the sense that if either team find a winner in 90 minutes, the roof's going to come off, whether it's that Bromley Chris Lane Terrace, the imaginary roof if you like, or indeed the other three corners of the ground. It's that kind of atmosphere. Both teams know what they're playing for and what they're fighting for, and they're both just coming up short at the minute.
And both know they have been in a very full-blooded, very honest match.
Stirk, free header. Marriott allowed time to bring it down. Bromley coming forward again with Whiteley over on that left flank. Caught by Wabuke, but allowed to progress further up the pitch. Topolodge. Nice turn on Wabuke.
Wow.
Still going, Topolodge. Caught by Wabuke, but noticed the referee. Won the ball, but they're giving it away, Woking. Straight to Whiteley, towards the back post, looking for Cheek. Wins the header, Cheek. Falls to the edge area to Fisher! Comfortable enough for Jaskelainen, but half in mouth for Woking once again.
Yeah, you were a bit worried there about Cuthbert coming across, and really Cheek now going down.
Let's hope he stays down. The referee letting a lot go at the moment.
Yeah.
Really, both teams benefiting at times, I think. I suppose, you know, when you're looking at Woking's bench, you've got maybe Charlie Wakefield you could look to bring on.
Yeah.
But for who, though, really?
Yeah. I think Darren Sarll will be aware that his best 11 players that he has at his disposal are currently on the pitch. Michael Cheek, who is on the pitch, but down at the minute.
Yeah, and also Scott Cuthbert getting a little bit of attention as well. Number of times we've seen Scott Cuthbert this season in this sort of situation look as though he's out of the game or carrying an injury, and then he just gets up and carries on regardless.
Yeah. It's a great demonstration of attitude from the Woking players. Again, they know what they're fighting for. They've got 20 minutes to get themselves from this eliminator into the next stage.
Yeah, I'd still like to see more from Daly. You know, several times he's kind of taken the wrong decision. We know he's got the pace. He just needs to try and take his man on a little bit more, rather than just trying to go past player after player. He needs to show a bit more composure on the ball.
It will be the end of Scott Cuthbert's night, it seems. Casper Wopata, big sign in the last few weeks. We actually saw him Basingstoke the weekend in the Apple Shop, clearly spending his playoff bonus. But he will be coming on. Wopata for Cuthbert, shirt tucked in. Good player, Wopata, but he's got a massive job on his hands. So too do the Woking players. All over the pitch. 1-1 with 15 minutes to play. Dackers. Twisting and turning away from Bromley defenders. He's gone on his own here. Dackers needs a bit of support. Has found into, just tripped over the ball through the legs of Dackers onto Arthurs, but Nerney was there. Dackers now chasing Reynolds. Flicked out to the right for Cheek. Flag goes up. Darren Sarll and Josh Casey in a war of words. Don't see that too often, do you, Ian?
No, but it's a sign of the competitive nature of this squad. You know, I've seen, you know, Scott Cuthbert have a real go at Luke Wilkinson in the warm-up, you know, because he didn't feel the attitude was right. You know, it's they don't let anybody off. It's
and just to see that Lofthouse and Daly have now swapped wings. So maybe Daly will have a bit more joy over on that far side.
Clearance from Jaskalainen. Thought the last touch came off Topolodge. It did. Linesman has the flag in his right hand. Woking fans trying to see their team over the line here. They need to find a goal. Short from Moss. Totally unmarked is Wabuke. Dan Moss, deflected effort. Hammered away by a Bromley player. McNerney's underneath this. But is all on his own and has time to bring the ball to rest. Back to Jaskalainen. First time clearance. Ooh, not the best. Straight to Sturck. Inside the centre circle. Onto Whiteley. Wopata is there. Took no chances, conceding a throw.
Well, it wasn't the best of clearances from Jaskalainen, to be fair. And Bromley were on it like a flash.
What do Andy Woodman and Darren Sarll think? Agonising these closing stages, because either team could still do it. Will it be the red and white halves of Woking, or will it be Bromley heading to Derbyshire come Sunday? So one meet with one of these long throws. Missed by McNerney. Header at the back post. Ella Arway has nodded it in. Bromley have taken the lead with 13 minutes to play. Ella Arway has found the back of the net for just the second time this season. And what a crucial goal it could be. 13 minutes from time. 1-0 down. Bromley now 2-1 up.
Yeah, and it's one of those, you know, when you get long throws going in, it's a bit like Russian roulette. You occasionally get one that goes and it's sort of, you know, Bromley player got his head out to it across, and it was just a very slow motion, very slow header going in. Woking now with everything to do to keep their season alive.
And having said before how well Woking have defended set plays, they were found wanting there really. You know, the big man was unmarked at the back stick, and it was a sort of looping header. For a minute I thought it was going to just go wide of the post. Instead of that, it just crept in, and Woking have got it all to do now.
It certainly went in slow motion, didn't it? We could see Elarawe unmarked at the back post, nodding it past Will Yaskalan into the corner of the goal, and Bromley now lead with just under a quarter of an hour to go, but Woking aren't giving this up with Lofthouse. Daly slips and it's hammered away by Fisher. Wopata is backpedaling. Yaskalanin will get there first. Right-footed clearance up into the air. And as you say, Wakefield coming on in the next few moments to try and turn this game around.
Yeah, all to do now for Woking, but and now we've got a player going down injured. We could see a few of these in the next few minutes. Trying to break up the momentum of the game.
Last season's, or a couple of seasons ago, FA Trophy winners. They won the National League South in 2015, searching for more silverware. Could Bromley do what Boreham Wood did to Barnet last night and win on the road by 2-1? It's not over until it's over, though.
True, but the irony is, you know, Woking have played much better in the second half and find themselves 2-1 down, really. The thing is, you just knew from the way Bromley started this game that they were definitely out to win it, and they look a far different side from the team that played here, you know, when Woking beat them in the league match.
Yeah.
They look much quicker, much sharper, much stronger, much more competitive. They're really up for it, and they played very well. Let's not take anything away from them.
No, very true.
So it looks like Dan Moss has gone off, has he? And
yeah, that's right. Charlie Wakefield has come on
Lofthouse
for Dan
has gone
Moss.
back to right back.
So you've got a very attacking right back at right back, and Wakefield over to the right. I think we're going to see this ball from the Bromley crowd for long, and out of the stadium it goes. So a new ball required. You can just see it's taking the sting out of the home support as well.
Yeah, it's gone very quiet around here, but you know, Woking need to build something. They have looked. They plugged away, and they probably for several weeks they plugged away and looked a little bit, you know, as though a lot of players are tired or, you know, carrying knocks and things. But it's there's still 15 minutes to go with additional time, and plenty of time to get back. You can never deny the spirit of this team.
And you do get the sense that they will get an opportunity. Whether they take it's a different matter. Stirk up in the air. Wopata underneath this. Arthurs. Cheek. Bromley have just been better in the key moments. Wopata takes a touch. Rebounds off Whiteley. And Woking do have
good play,
a goal kick.
We don't know. We don't know with the goal as well whether Cuthbert going off, Wopata coming on. You know, upset in some ways, you know, just getting used to things. James Daly now trying to stir up the team. And of course you begin to think, you know, well, regardless of what goes on, this is, you know, will be the last Woking home game for some players.
Yeah. Well, Bouquet loses out. Cheek. Whiteley now. Bromley gambling numbers forward in search of a third. Daly now. Sprinting forward, galloping forward down the Woking left. Still he goes, James Daly. Work this into a really good position.
And that will lift the team now. That's sort of just moments like that. It can be a great tackle or a great run like that. Didn't really threaten, but it can just be that bit of lift just to get a bit of possession and a bit of pressure.
Casey, controlled cross, a one-me's header. Won't fall for McNerney or Bouquet McNerney pushing the Bromley man to the ground. Just not going their way at the minute.
I mean, the ref's been he's been consistent, but he's been very hard on particularly Joe McNerney.
Yeah. Charles Cook with the free kick. Nice connection on the clearance, but Nerney, his header just went up, not anywhere else. Ince hacks it away, straight to Arthurs.
So far, Bromley managing this quite well. Still a long time to go, though.
Indeed, there is. Sawami with the throw-in. Possession. It's retained well by Bromley in the moments that have been between now and since they took the lead. Woking just had the ball in the wrong place at the minute. Regardless what happens, this has been an experience, or a first experience for many in the playoffs. The club, most of the players have had some kind of involvement before, but this is not over yet. Wopata, a free kick against Casey, and they will take their time with this, Ian.
Yeah, they'll take their time with everything, really. I think giving away free kicks eats up time. I think little niggly injuries eats up time, and every team would be the same, but
Stirk will take. Just ironic how Woking do the double over Bromley this season, but when it matters, they step up. Stirk, excellent ball in, headed away by Casey, brought down by Daly, but Stirk's won it back, and Daly himself has won it back. Hazy onside, Wakefield, no! Flag goes up. It was very, very tight. We were in a very good position there. John, third thoughts?
Miles offside, I thought.
just offside.
Just offside. But you still had to claim Wakefield put it into the empty net anyway. That's the chance they needed, but for what, a shoulder, a leg sticking out?
Yeah. Good to see Wakefield at full pace, not pulling any hamstrings, not doing anything like that. And Darren Sarle's obviously a big fan of Charlie Wakefield, so be interested to see if he does end up here at Woking next year.
Goes Topper Lodge, Stirk straight through to a Woking goal kick. Now they really need to start rushing things here. Jaskalainen's goal kick. Darren Sale asking for more. One final push, one final effort. Can Bromley see this out? Up rises Daly. Dackers is there. Daly's come much more central now, looking for Wabuke. Just too short for him, but Wabuke is there. Now with Lofthouse, reverting back to right back. It's poor, and it's beyond the reach of any Woking player. You can hear the groans starting to settle in as well. Jaskalainen. Up rises Dackers. Wakefield just didn't spot the run, the path of the ball. Good header from Wopata. Wabuke beaten to it by Stirk, who's probably been the best player on the pitch for Bromley, highlighted by John Moore earlier. Final few minutes, Ian.
Yep, final few minutes, and Woking pressing, looking for that magic moment. They haven't threatened to have too many magic moments. There've been a few, particularly in the second half.
Half that they started so well as well.
Everyone willing that moment to come.
Casey, it's a strange clearance.
You know, that Ammon chance looks more and more crucial now.
Yeah.
Whiteley cutting it out, and Dackers just shoulders him off the ball. Woking have a throw here. Bit of energy needs to be injected in these closing moments of the game. This is their season here. They've got to go for it. Wabuke. Low cross, not met by Dackers, but instead by the goal scorer, Erawawe. Dackers may have a chance. Erawawe is there again. Wopata. Nice touch, but wrong way. Straight back to Jaskalainen. Casey's come short. Jaskalainen is just looking at the other end of the pitch. It's a long, ambitious ball beyond Lofthouse. And the Woking fans just stare and don't know what to say.
And another player gone down from nowhere. I mean, it's a goal kick that went near nowhere, and a player just goes down.
Well, they were so poor from Woking, wasn't it, really? You want to be going forwards, not backwards. And then you want your keeper to at least keep the ball in play.
Yeah.
Patter beaten to it by Marriott. Ricochets off a Bromley leg. Topper Lodge. Stuck between leads there of Stirk and Dackers. Hoisted away by Patter. Lofts it forward with Bouquet. Rebounds off Stirk. 90 seconds left.
And you would think, with number of injuries and substitutions, you'd think there'd be
probably 2 minutes only.
At least
time keeping expertise.
I would have thought at least 6 minutes. Cheek was down for quite a while as well.
Free kick Bromley. And the fans over on that far side think their team have done enough.
Nobody leaving though.
Nobody leaving. Everybody still on the edge of their seats. Will we see a grandstand finish here on Woking's last game at the Laithwaite this season for definite? Cheek with the header onto Ince. Daly. Whiteley straight through the middle. McNerney's clearance. Topper Lodge can see it out. The ball's just in the wrong end of the pitch at the minute for Woking. They're yet to really even challenge Charles Cook's goal.
Well, they just can't keep the ball.
No, they can't.
You've got to keep the ball. You've got to pass the ball.
I think there's going to be
work your way up the field. Instead of that, it's just clearing it anywhere.
It's going to be 5 additional minutes for Woking to find something. Who is going to be the hero if there is one? Key loss was Brown before kick-off, and then Kellerman during the game. Jude Arthurs has now gone down and will receive some treatment. So 5 additional minutes. We'll probably see an extra one now with Arthurs gone down.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot this season, and to be fair, Woking have done it on 1 or 2 occasions as well, but
But can you work out the logic of that? There were 6 added minutes in the first half, and then we have 5 in the second half. There's been just as many breaks. There's been all the substitutions.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, to be honest with you. I just think they guess. I mean, how many stoppages have we had?
Yeah.
I just beggars belief, quite frankly.
Arthur's ushered off towards the far side.
But the fact is that so far in the last 5 or 10 minutes, Woking have failed to really land a glove on Bromley. They haven't really got ball in a composed way.
With Bouquet's clearance, Wakefield hunting them down. Dackers his header. Up goes Wakefield. Bromley have so many players back. Falls to Daly, 30 yards out. Looks to shape the shot. Ammond, this is the chance. The flag goes up. Wanted the penalty. Wasn't going to get it. And there was the chance. The flag went up anyway. But goodness me, it would have been interesting to see if the referee would have pointed to the spot for Woking.
Even now, Darren Sarl giving instructions to Josh Casey. Just 2 or 3 minutes, probably going to send a defender up, I think.
Yeah, I think Patter or McNerney just simply have to go forward. There's Patter. Ince's clearance. Is it beyond Lofthouse? It is, and the groans continue to grow louder.
Once again, Woking guilty of just giving the ball away needlessly. Just got to keep it in play. Work your way up the field.
Goes Ammond. Sliced effort from Whiteley. Casey nods it back to Yaskalainen. This needs to go forward. We've already played 2 of the additional 5. Call it 6 perhaps. Clearance from Yaskalainen is strong. Up goes Dackers. She realised where the ball had landed. It's hoofed up to Yaskalainen, who will get another chance. To keep their wits about them, Woking. Will they get an opportunity? Dackers' header. Balls to Lofthouse on the edge of the box. No free kick given. Casey with the header. Looking to be flicked on by Daly. Sort of missed the touch he wanted. Darren Searle catches it on the touchline. Wokin's throw. Going to be anchored back down the pitch.
The referee has just let players take throw-ins wherever they like. Suddenly decides in the 93rd minute he's going to put a stop to it.
Sawambi's clearance. Casey. They've got to give it everything here, Woking. Daly couldn't get it through the legs of Fisher, who overruns it anyway. Woking throw. They need a new ball. Short to McNerney. There's another ball on the pitch here, which is very much in the way. Straight down the line to Cheek. Arthurs. Marriott switched out to Whiteley. Nice touch. Stirk with a chance to wrap it up. Stirk. Well, Patter stood strong. And they're going to the corner flag here. Bromley. Topolodge challenged. Arthur's turn to blockade the corner flag. Woking legs scrambling to get a touch in there, where Patter finds Ammond, wrong side of the line, however. Final 60 seconds, if anything's added on. But the two offside flags have rescued Bromley from a possible turnaround. And Darren Searle heads back to the seat of his dugout. Bewildered, disappointed, disjointed. Woking goal kick. Last chance. And here they go. Short pass from Jaskalainen. Casey, short to Daly. Clearance, Dackers. Sawambi was there. Cleared into the director's stand. Again, new ball required. Casey down the line to Dackers. Flicked on by Daly. Sawambi's there again. On from Marriott, who is chasing Wopata. And Jaskalainen takes a touch and gets the clearance up the pitch. Referee has looked at his watch. Casey down the line again. Sawambi is there. Cheek back to Stirk. Rebounds off the referee, but they still have possession. And Whiteley's coming forward again. Doesn't matter. Bromley are through to the semi-finals of the playoffs. They've beaten Woking on their own turf by 2-1. Woking, who were in front after 13 minutes. Michael Cheek and Deji Elarawe hit back for the visitors, and they are on their way to Derbyshire on Sunday to face Chesterfield for a place at Wembley. Heartbreak for Woking. Hands on heads for the players, the manager and the supporters. They led this game in the first half, but they've been beaten at home yet again. Bromley unbeaten in 10. Their good form continues, and they will celebrate with their packed out support on the Chris Lane Terrace. Woking, they can't quite believe it. What a season, but it's ended here at the hands of Bromley. Woking 1, Bromley 2, the full-time score. Ian Nicholson, your first reaction?
Well, heartbreak to get this far and then go out. But you have to say Bromley deserved the win, albeit it was a penalty from nowhere that really turned the match. But Woking much better in the second half, had their opportunities. But once Bromley went ahead, they managed it very well, and Woking really couldn't get consistent possession. So it's time to reflect, withdraw, get a clear head, and then look to move forward. But it's been a very positive season for Woking. Some great moments. Probably just ran out of steam a little bit at the end, but a great bunch of lads, done well. But well done to Bromley, and on they go.
And tonight, John, were Bromley just the better team?
Undoubtedly, yeah. They were quicker, sharper, better than Woking, I think, all over the pitch. They thoroughly deserved their win. But let's not forget, Woking were leading 1-0 at half-time. And then Amand had a great opportunity to make it 2-0. Had he taken that, it could have been a completely different game. But, you know, Woking can't have any complaints. They gave everything tonight, but just came up short.
They did. John, Ian, thanks so much, not just for tonight, but also for the whole season as a whole. It's been one roller coaster ride following Darren Sarle's team this season. 4th place finishers, but beaten in the first phase of the playoffs to Bromley, who power on to Chesterfield on Sunday. Best wishes to them, and what will be a fascinating semi-final clash. Notts County and Bournemouth kick off the day on Sunday. Notts County and Chesterfield joining the party. 4 teams, 2 hopefuls, heading to Wembley next Saturday. But it's the end of the road for Woking tonight, who soak up the support. Darren Sarle leading the plaudits at the Kingfield Road end. And all the Woking players all stand sort of 2-3 yards away from each other. Bromley together as a team, but Woking beaten here by Bromley in the Bannerama Playoff Eliminator. What a season. Thank you very much indeed for following Woking home and away. We hope you've enjoyed the commentaries, bar some of the results. It has been a classic season for the Cards, one certainly to remember, and there'll always be another day. Whether that is next season, you'll hear, of course, live on BBC Radio Surrey. But for myself, Mark Francis, Ian Nicholson and John Moore, it has been my pleasure to bring you Woking season 2022-2023. But tonight, it comes to a close. Full time here, Woking 1, Bromley 2. We will see you next season.
Good mention. You know, it seems as though the fans respect the last